teeth are set to kill. That's right. That's you. Kill it, bruh. Yeah, we get it. What's his teeth? I'm scared. You gonna bite? Those are scary, bro. Those skinheads are scary, dog. Oh, hell no.
What's that? You don't want none?
That's like
Hey.
shit with the Glock 9 straight up on you.
Chill out. Chill out.
What is that?
He's doing more than that right now. He's gonna be humping in a little while.
Well, fuck it. I mean, he's trying to be alpha. I'm trying to taste it. He's trying to taste the meat. He's trying to taste the
Chill
meat
out.
before you eat it.
Chill out before you go in the cage.
Trying to taste it before you eat it.
Oh, you're gonna be in the cage. Keep on. Like he's gonna attack you.
Right? No, he's just looking for approval. Like, should I or should I not? I want to eat him, but I shouldn't.
I don't know how to.
Right. I want to fuck him up, but I don't know what's going to happen to me. Type shit. I want to fuck him up real quick, but he's thinking about the consequences.
It's gonna be bad.
Shit. He's all muscle, bro. You're a wrestler by heart. Right, Chico? You're a wrestler by heart. By nature. Hustle by nature, criminal by law. Weird.
You gonna be in the cage.
I'm not doing nothing.
No, I'm not doing a damn thing. Well, what the hell did I create? They figured they shoot that way, then the bullets will come down.
Motherfucker got about 6 AKs on the goddamn.
With one trigger. Shoot this shit up.
Shoot
That's
that
crazy.
drone. That's a drone.
Oh, they're shooting at a drone?
Yeah, maybe Russia. Sound like
That boy said 50, 50, 50, 50.
it is. Sound like Russia.
See?
What is that?
No.
Female. Except, look, girl did that.
You waiting for yourself to pop on the stream over here?
Hmm?
You're waiting for it to pop up on the stream over here? Or what?
Probably not.
You could just shoot it and then edit it later.
Yeah, that's how we done.
Like a little bit of this.
Do it. You drink all your platinum?
Huh?
You drink all the platinum?
That drink on one platinum?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You brought with?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got bottles of cartoon. But they're like down by the street. Down by the bridge.
Only way that works. If this pops up. What happened? Fuck.
blaming you for all of it. Oh, don't run now. Don't run. Why you running?
Where you going? Who you going?
Perfect setup. Stream. And we're back. All right, let's see if I can do this. Bam. And I should be able to go on here. I should be able to do here. Bam, bam. To bam. Log in.
Ooh. Research. What's that right?
No.
Bye. What's up, Chico? What you got? What you got, Chico? Okay. Just like that. Oh, you got it like that? Okay, good. I was asking.
All right, we live. We're good on here. Oh, we're good.
I was asking what you doing. Boy.
Chico, you're gonna be in a cage. Chill out. Go sit down. Now, go sit down. Yeah, Lord. Want some money?
Money, money.
What? Ooh. Crazy, man. All right. Feel like you, Lewis.
What's up?
Show on you.
Where we at? Hey, what's good?
I just want some color in my life.
That's right.
Color in my life. Color.
Karma.
Karma is action fit. You. All right. You're. All right, but we live.
We got some girls.
Yes, fool. Give my shit.
Hey, try mine.
Give my shit. Brendo. Sit your ass. Sit down.
Taste the rainbow.
Look at the camera and tell everybody, hey.
Chico.
Yellow.
Yellow. That's a good boy.
Sip. Yeah, we've been live for 12 minutes and 35 seconds.
Good.
All right, Luis, what you want to talk about?
A lot.
A lot.
Is there?
What's a lot? What's really in your brain?
That's what the people need to hear.
Oh fuck! I gotta make an intro, so I might as well. What's up?
We're gonna talk about aliens. We're gonna talk about humans. We're gonna talk about a lot what we've been through in the past. Forever.
So you're doing a little bit of history.
A little bit of history.
What a little bit of
I don't know. A lot of what we're going
sci-fi?
through. Yeah, I guess sci-fi. Yeah, I would say sci-fi.
Sci-fi? With a little bit of
It's a lot of like spiritualism, sci-fi. Yeah, it all ties into the history.
so we're gonna keep it on history.
Yeah,
With a
basically.
tie in everything.
Yeah.
Alright. Y'all already know that. It's 90 Proof. I'm Money Mitch.
You got beliefs on.
This right over here. You motherfucker over here.
Dessert.
This is Luis. Y'all know Luis. Basically, I moved to Texas if anybody don't know. But I started working for and this guy right here came in. I just do it that way because it makes it even better.
It makes it, yeah.
But this guy actually came in and started the same day that I started. It was basically a circle. It's one other guy that's missing.
Okay.
But yeah, Justin, crazy. Anyway, we started over there at the same time, and this is the reason why me and this guy are friends. So if y'all didn't know,
For sure.
but he had some shit on his temple tonight that he wanted to get off. So
All that.
who are we to deny him of him expressing himself?
Yeah, man. I appreciate the platform. For sure.
You sure?
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
By the way, we got Brendo in the back. Juan LaFonta's in the back.
Hanging out.
He probably walk in later. He's smoking right now. And if y'all don't know this guy right here, this guy right here is Chico. Nobody ever knew. This is Chico. This is my son, my kiddo.
The big
But anyway, you say you wanted to talk about
yeah, I don't really know how to get into it, but I guess I can kind of talk about how I like unlearned about this stuff, but
you want to learn about it, you want me to ask you about it?
either one, yeah. Like you want to like prime my brain.
Yeah,
That's
let's
kind of
pick
get
up.
into it.
Yeah.
That'll make sense.
So when you speak about spiritual, what you speak about, like, what is your spiritual realm? What is your spiritual knowledge?
Alright, so pretty much like it's not so my background is like I'm not really like into like religion or anything.
Mhm.
So like I was going through some stuff and I met up with this guy. His name's Chud. And he put me on some stuff that like kind of gave me a different angle of thinking. like apparently this like realm of like thinking came from like the 80s apparently through a study that they did.
Not drugs, right?
Nah, well, I mean, there's a little bit of it. Yeah, there's a little bit of drugs involved. Right, there's a little bit of drugs involved, but it's a lot of meditation too, which is like can go into like breathing exercises and just like trying to tap into like something different, like something that's just not of like the general realm, where like pretty much like when you're like awake, you know what I mean, like you're in a state of like seeing what you know, like what you feel, what you see every day, you know what I mean.
Let me ask you this question then. Meditation. In your spirituality and what you believe in, what is meditation to you?
Well, like meditation could be like even through a conversation, like when you're speaking with someone else, like you're like in a sense of like meditation because you're taking in what the other person is like talking about, and then you're trying to think about what to reply with, and like you're on a focus, and like your breathing is different, especially when you're comfortable with someone. Like your breathing is different. Like it's not like you're overwhelmed. Like if you're in a comfortable conversation, you know what I'm saying? Like that in itself is like a meditational state.
So it's a meditational state, like normal conversation.
Yeah, like normal conversation. Like with someone like you're comfortable with, like just find yourself like thinking like, okay, like how is my breathing like? Like am I taking more breaths in to like reply and stuff, like, and then like you're more like just within your head just trying to like play that dance that you're doing with the conversation. Like that in itself is meditation. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, because I think of meditation in more of a sense of, I guess, in a praise way. Like when I pray to God, or I pray in a religion way.
Right,
so it's still not take out the spiritual realm of it,
right.
but in a religion way, or even spiritual, I pray to say thanks.
Right.
And in meditation, I pray to ask.
So you're gathering your thoughts and you're focusing your focus on that channel. So basically what you're doing is you're saying you're channeling through something that is helping you kind of like reflect, and you're bouncing back like ideas through that thought process. You're like kind of focused on that, you know what I mean? So like basically do you like do that when like in the room by yourself, like you just kind of like
so when I
close your eyes
meditate, I meditate, I don't meditate with anyone. I meditate with self.
Okay.
So I guess it can make sense that if you having a natural conversation with somebody else,
right,
you can go into a meditational realm with them in a conversation.
Right.
But in my meditation methods, I believe that meditating is basically being by yourself. That conscious thought that you always have in the back of your head.
Yeah.
You speak more to that.
Right.
But you also speak to a higher standard of asking questions.
Yeah, and that's like breaking through like almost like that same thing of like when you're awake, you're not really thinking about all that. Like you're kind of just in like the realm of just like surviving through society and stuff. Like basically when you're meditating, like you break that and like you kind of just self-reflect within yourself. Like that's kind of just breaking like the focus of like being conscious, and then you're just kind of like slowing it down. Like I'm pretty sure like if you thought about your breathing in that sense, like
How you breathing and everything else, where's a calm state of mind of breathing?
yeah, like you're
I'm not concentrating on my breathing.
right. You don't even think about it.
Yeah, it goes on.
Yeah.
It's like sleep.
Word. And
But-
that's something that you've learned. That's
Yeah.
up to you. So like it's just a channel. That's what I would call a channel.
Your meditation is
that's
called a
it.
channel.
Yeah,
A channel.
I would say that. Like it's different for everyone because not everyone experiences the same thing. So like different, like yeah, channels for sure are different for everyone. But in that sense, basically what I was put onto was something called like the Law of One, and you can look it up on lawofone.info. But basically what I'm gonna talk about is kind of that stuff. So it's kind of gonna go deep. I don't know if y'all ready for it, but it's gonna get thrown onto y'all. So
Okay.
so basically these people back in the 80s, a girl named Carla and a guy named Don, they got together through meditation. And they channeled an entity called the Ra, which
I'm a Ra.
Oh yeah, he gonna walk in on it.
The raw is
We
basically
live?
Yeah, we liable.
Alright.
the raw is basically just like if you think about it, like nowadays, like when you get on Facebook, like
Mhm.
your name is what you put into the data. That's whatever everyone sees. So like basically, their screen name was called the raw, but the entity was just like a group of beings that were beyond us. But they tapped into and they were able to ask questions to this entity through someone who was in deep meditation, and they reflected back and forth through conversation. Yeah,
Communication-wise, without
and
words.
they had different sessions throughout different days.
Without words.
Well, they did have words. They
Okay.
spoke. So they spoke through the channel of Carla,
Okay.
who was able to tap into the channel, and Don was the proctor. And basically, they would ask like the entity, and the entity would speak through Carla, and they got a lot of information as far as like they talked about like when the creation of the world was. They talked about like how things were as far as like when the pyramids were built and stuff like that. So they got a lot of information through this entity, but she was in a deep trance to where it wasn't the person anymore. It was literally like
Yeah. She was channeling.
she was channeling.
medium,
Yeah,
so
she was basically the medium between
Whatever entity was talking.
Yeah,
through
between
her.
us and then something beyond us. And basically, what the raw was talking about was, like they asked how long has the human race been around and stuff like that. And like they talked about like whenever the entities beyond us tried to contact us, we always took their information and just like warped it for like ourselves, like
Our selfish needs.
that, and then like destroyed the earth or did things with the powers that they gave us for like our greater good. You know what I mean?
It's funny because we done had heard this story. We done talked about
I know
it
what you're talking
from
about.
yeah. So we
Black
know
people. He talking about
he's talking about how it was taken and destroyed,
yeah.
not its raw form, as the raw, but not the raw form as it was what it's supposed to be used for. All right, you said history, right?
History.
All right, we know one thing about history. History is only history when things happen.
The winner deploys the information that they want you to know.
When things happen.
And that-
Including when you can say winter, even with winners or whatever.
Yeah.
When things happen.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I hate about a lot of history is the fact that
It's whoever's writing it, right?
that's one. Who's ever speaking about it, who's ever writing it. The other thing is they don't teach you to go dig deeper than whatever is on the surface.
And then when you do, and like they're like, where's this information
And when
coming
you
from?
start digging,
they
they call it a
find
rabbit
sources
hole
and all
where
that.
it don't equal up to nothing,
Right.
which is all lies because it came from something.
That's called like nihilism too. Like if you're trying to say that information coming from nothing to say that everything is nothing, then that's like, what's the meaning of life? It's nothing, because
What's that song?
there's an end to it. You know what I mean?
Gotta be something. Motherfucker pushing your mouth. All right, so when it comes to the history, it's two stories. It's one story. It's just the timeline of this story.
Yeah, and it's like we're in the time of like
Ali
technology,
Crawley.
where like
That's who it was.
Ali Crawley.
That
Yeah,
part.
that him.
Yeah.
So
So
the
you-
timeline you're talking about is that part.
Occult knowledge.
Yeah.
Basically.
Word.
You're still in the conquering and building stages of what you're speaking of, when at the end of the day these were basically laws and rules to actually live on earth that was given to us. And somebody took those laws and rules and turned it into their laws and rules, and here it is. My one thing about that is I asked you about meditation earlier. I asked you about what it was and everything else. I gave you my,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, how I feel about it, my definition of meditation. I feel like me praying to God is telling God thank you.
Right.
Me meditating is also another way of me asking why or what should I do and this.
Right.
And the way you broke it down is you could be having a normal conversation with somebody, y'all could be in a meditation room where you're talking to one being woke, not with your eyes closed, not with your head bowed, not, you actually communicate with somebody comfortably where you can actually say and speak how you feel or what you know
Yeah, and
with
like
confidence without,
it breaks away from all the rules of everything. Like,
yeah,
oh,
there's no, you don't have to say this and this.
Yeah.
So that, well, his definition of meditation just kind of messed me up because I never thought about it in that way.
So what's your definition? What's your definition of meditation?
Well, anything that breaks away from like anything that breaks away from normal life, like when you're out and about, when you're out and about, you're reacting to what's going on in society.
Yeah.
You're trying to follow those rules and all that, and that in itself is its own meditation. But because you gotta focus to like kind of like follow those rules or whatever. But then when you're in a comfortable conversation, you're kind of just in your own, like, our breathing is different. We're trying to just focus on what's in front of us. Like, you're in the moment. Like, you're not thinking about, like, your bills, I have to pay in a month, you know what I mean? Like, or you're not thinking about, like, where your car is parked or something, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. Like, you're just thinking about, like, what's going on right here and now. Like, that in itself is a meditational state. Like, like something that's just like
thinking of shit beyond the daily grind of the bullshit.
You're just in the moment, like you're just thinking about what's in front of you.
So it just sounds like when you meditate, it's everything that's not a part of the system. Yeah. And when I say the system, is your normal conversation, your 9 to 5, or things that you have no control over.
And you would know that because like you're not like constantly like freaking out, like you're not like like am I in trouble or you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Like
so what do you get when people do outbreaks?
Outbreaks like what?
Like they're fed up with something and what we call snapping.
Yeah.
Or
they're
just tired of the bullshit, so they literally.
That part's gonna take a lot of like where you're at in your mindset of the now, and then like how you feel, and like that
how
could
you
be
process.
Yeah, that could be like things that you resent like within yourself.
So when that conversation happens, is that some sort of meditation?
I would say
meditation. Or
I would say
in your basically definition of meditation. Because that's not part of the norm if I intentionally go against whatever is the norm.
Yeah, I feel you.
Is it only like that because I know it's not the norm? I know me snapping or me going off is not the norm, but I'm doing it to get my point across. Is that a meditational stage?
It can be if that it depends on your intentions. Like if your intention are to see what the other person, how they react off of what you present.
Okay.
If you're fishing for that, then like that'll kind of be your meditation because you want to see what's going to be the next step, right?
Yeah.
What's going to be the next step? If you're at least prepared for that next step, or it could be like. If you do lose your kind of head, if you do lose your focus, that's good. That's I wouldn't say like if you lose your focus, that's not a meditational state. You're definitely in a reactive. A meditational state, I would say, is something that you can retract from. You're in a realm of your own, and you feel comfortable within that realm, and then you're reflecting on that. So it could be like
so it's not manslaughter.
Definitely not.
Okay.
No, it's definitely a reaction. That's definitely a reactive, and at that point, it's an animalistic state.
So then we're talking about a response, basically.
Yeah.
Not a reaction, but more of a response.
Right. And as an animal is going to react to desire, and the desire to either control the situation, or and it's definitely going to be control. So either like lashing out, angry, yelling. Stuff like that, reacting like physical motions, like that's all animalistic drive, which goes back to what we are. We are animals, and the meditational state Something beyond that of reaction is gonna be what?
So you're more like
what's after the reaction state? Self-reflecting.
After you reacted? Yeah.
Yeah, self-reflecting on consequences. Like, like thinking about what's happening in the future, stuff like that. That's the meditational state. Like you're thinking about your consequences that have been presented in front of you. And then how is that going to affect your future? Stuff like that. Like, so now you're reflecting on what you've done. Mm-hmm. So that's the meditational state. But definitely, like, yeah, if you react, impulse, drive, stuff like that, that's animalistic.
That beast.
Yeah, that's animalistic.
Your beast instinct.
And
compared to
the
your
spirituality. The Buddhists would channel that as the yellow, which would be your yellow chakra, which would definitely be desire, control, reaction. You know what I mean?
The Buddhists always had a level to everything your body actually does.
Right.
It's a complex world, but it's levels to your mind.
Yeah, and the stuff that I got put on, it talks about a lot of Buddhism stuff. So like the root chakra, which is like the red chakra, that's like security, finances,
but that goes back
home.
That goes back to
being, comfortable.
Yeah, the starting work.
Yeah, the starting
what we was talking about when you talked about what's his name? From the beginning, when I told you it was a timeline. You had the teacher who took in his students, and told them to go teach the world. Mm-hmm. And he was basically giving you how to live life, how to live and survive. And
that's the root.
That's the root. The Buddha actually grew from the root and went into studies of, including himself, but did the studies of the body. Because they also tell you, you have a third eye. They tell you about the third eye. They tell you the levels of it,
and that
how you can grow to.
The third eye is like hella levels.
Hella levels.
The root
but it's an understanding and a mindset of how you react, why you react this way.
I would say a lot of our entities, like what possesses our vessel, and I would say like our human body is the vessel, and our spirit is possessing that vessel. Mm-hmm. Our spirit is from a realm beyond all of us. Like this is from like something that you can't even imagine, but basically the spirit is like an energy, and it you can actually code what you need to learn within life before you even possess the vessel. So what that means is like before you even become Mitch, your spirit coded whatever you needed to do in this realm to learn for the next realm. And that could take 25,000 years of a life cycle. That could take 25,000 years. And how many life cycles is that? How many vessels do you have to possess
to get to that point?
How many vessels do you have to possess to get to that next level? And there's only 75,000 years between where you are now until we destroyed this world to learn that lesson, just to get to the next level. And the next level is the level of love. Because what this world is stuck in...
That's the last level.
The next level? The next level is love.
Yeah, depending on what level you're sitting on.
It would mean like unconditional love. So whenever you come in contact with another being, another entity,
that's still love.
You come in contact with them as they are you.
Yeah.
So like Brandon is you. Mm-hmm. So you speak to him like he is you. So you treat him like he is you. Mm-hmm. So, but the way that society is kind of like enveloped right now, we're only enveloped in love and desire. So your personal desire of the vessel will overrule love.
Yeah.
So the next person. Yeah. So the struggle right now with the whole world as a collective is we're stuck between seeing the other as me or you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because I am you and you are me. Yeah. So seeing the next person as you is the hardest part right now. And that's where the whole world is stuck in. We can't see each other as ourselves.
You can't treat the person how you want to be treated.
Yeah, that's where we're all stuck in. We're all stuck in the animalistic drive. We're all stuck in the vessel because this is what we experience every day. 100% every day. This is what we experience.
But that's the flow of the world, though.
Right.
between
That's what
working
society.
a job.
Right.
It's a desire
Yeah.
to make that money.
To
and-
make money, to live good,
exactly.
to eat good,
Yeah.
to drink good.
Yeah, perfect
stuff
stuff.
like that.
Yeah, everything is a judgmental thing. It comes off the strength of
That's
how we see others looking at
Like
us.
you said, that's that desire. We're still in that beast
Yeah.
mode.
We have 75,000 years of a life cycle to figure it out as a collective. Now, what that means is Mitch could be on the spiritual level of the third eye, right?
Mhm.
And put it as an example, but someone stuck in the third, the second realm, which would be only knowing desires, like Chico. Chico only knows, like, if he interacts with Mitch,
Mhm.
he's gonna be able to go outside, right? That's his intellectual understandings. If I react with this being, then I get something for that reaction. If I bark, I get let out. That's the animalistic brain.
If he has food in his hands.
Now,
that's
as
what
a
he
human knows that if I get up, I can go to food. I can go to the restroom, right? Because we're on a third dimension between him being on a two-dimensional life. Two-dimensional life would be, I do something, something happens.
Mhm.
Third-dimensional life, I understand that I'm an animal, but I have a desire in my mind. I'm like, I know I can get up and I can do it. I can do for myself, or I can do for another person.
Yeah, because if he could jump up when he becomes intelligent, well, I know he's intelligent already.
Right.
To open the damn door by himself,
Right.
he ain't gonna need us to let him out.
But that gets to the, like I said, animals getting smarter and humans are getting dumber.
It could
That's
be,
the way I'm looking
well,
at
that's
it.
because that's the thing. That right there is a reflection of understanding of the fifth dimension.
Mhm.
That's an understanding of something beyond.
What's
Because
the
you
norm?
know, you can see what's going on, and you know that it's troublesome.
Cage.
But because
Go.
you have that knowledge, you can say, hey, he's doing that because of this.
Cage.
Mhm.
So that's beyond the dimension of a human.
Yeah,
Having that understanding of saying,
the foresight,
yeah,
the
you see the
understanding
force.
of life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I see this, therefore that's happening. So you're already at another dimension, and having that understanding, that knowledge, that's what your spirit was put on this world to
Comprehending.
comprehend and then show others about it.
Exactly.
So
So what's the process of us learning more?
So if someone that comes into this world has understanding beyond the
The norm.
the
Whatever
third
is here
dimension,
already.
which is human, if you have a higher spiritual understanding, then you are meant to teach and bring everyone else into that realm, to bring them into the next realm, because everyone's stuck.
Sure, why I get mad at? Because
It's hard. It's hard because the world against you. You know what I'm saying?
Especially
The
when-
world, society against you,
when you're speaking the truth.
and you got animals against you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're looking at it like that, because you're self-reflecting at that point, that's a meditational state. You're
Okay.
self-reflecting. You're going. You're,
Yeah, I can
you're,
see,
you're
because
thinking
that-
about it at a higher point.
and that's why I say again,
And a
I'm
lot
always,
of people.
I'm always alone when I think about
Yeah.
these type of things.
Right.
When I get on here, I express,
Right.
but I express in a way that cool. It's hard because you have to learn that everyone won't listen.
But that's their spirit, and they've programmed that into that vessel,
But-
and that's the lesson they're stuck at.
But then
And you
what?
can't be upset at it because
No,
it's
you
not
can't.
right and
No.
it's not wrong.
But
But you gotta
But
have that.
then
that-
you also
You gotta see it from love, right?
You gotta see that love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta understand.
You can't
that-
judge.
exactly.
You gotta understand and move on.
Right. You
now
gotta-
that's the other part I'm about to tell you. The move on part.
Yeah.
With the move on part, if you're one of them people who are determined to make someone understand,
But that's your
to
desire.
see, then that becomes
That
the
goes
desire.
to-
Yeah, that's
Bruh.
what I'm saying.
Bruh.
So that's why
You
it's
gotta
so
have a
hard
level
to
of
see as,
understanding.
hey,
Yeah.
I could be a vessel that's
No.
lived in the past and came here in the future to tell you,
Right.
this is what you need to do.
But here's the thing. There's another being.
Okay.
Okay. There's a higher dimensional being that Okay, so you can either polarize positive or negative, but it's not saying there's a right or wrong.
No.
No.
It's
Because
polarity.
everyone will polarize either way.
Yeah, it's polarity.
Now,
There's no such thing
Now,
as right or wrong.
It's a balancing.
I'm
That's
just,
all it is.
I'm just reflecting what I've understood through the law of one.
Mm-hmm.
But so service to self, you have to have 95% of service to self and 5% service to others. This is the information they relied off of Carla.
Yeah, because
95% service to self, 5% service to others. 2 polarized negative. Polarizing positive is service to others, 50% service to self.
And then that
So-
95% don't make you a bad person because
Right.
you're selfish.
Right.
Yeah,
Because you're still polarizing.
You still
because no matter,
polarize.
because at the end of the day, that's the same reason why they break down your ties in
Yeah.
the good book.
Right.
When they talk about
And-
ties, it's not money,
And
but it's the same of what you give. How much do you give in ties?
yeah, so there's this.
It's a balance scheme, is what I'm saying, through life. Either way, there's no good, no bad.
no good or no bad.
But at the same time, you still need the balance of negative and positive
Yes.
for it to work.
But the way that we as a vessel understand positive and negative, we think there's a good side, there's a light
bad
side, and a dark
bad
side.
Yeah, no.
The way that energy works and the way that polarity works is it's not looking at that.
It's not work
it's
for
looking
you.
at how, like what that being is possessed under. So the Orion. So there's a group called the Orion,
Mm-hmm.
and that group is polarizing negative.
Okay.
And those entities have been possessed by Hitler, has been possessed by Richard Nixon, Abraham Lincoln. A lot of them higher stature characters that we understand in history.
Those who created chaos
Right.
at a moment of time.
Right.
Just chaos.
They were possessed by the Orion. It's an entity that is it's not a counter, I wouldn't say, but that's the negative polarity.
Yeah.
But it has to have some type of balance to that negative.
Exactly.
That's the reason why the fight and everything else was so.
And that's why like the Nazis and stuff like that, all that has energy movement to it because that is the polarity for service to self.
Gotcha.
So
So
service,
it's it was a domination to self-service.
yeah.
Like, I did what I
They
did
might have been good characters
as
To
person
them.
for themselves,
but
and
for
then
everybody else,
and
it
then
was
they
hard.
had, and then they had followers for it.
Yeah.
But it's not that they were trying to destroy anything, but that's what their that's the path that their polarity took.
Exactly. The energy flowed that
Right.
way, so.
That's the way the energy took, and
And with the energy taken that way is another thing where I wanted to talk about is the belief in where that energy takes you. That's just like the same sense of when I was young, I was real bad.
yeah,
So it makes sense when I got older, I end up in jail.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Because-
people do certain shit because they look back and see, hey, the energy was, I've been bad all my life.
But when they're through it, they're not feeling like they're bad. They're
Just
moving on.
experience.
Yeah,
No.
they're moving on.
Yeah,
between-
Yeah, they just, it's a normal day.
yeah, what it feels like. It feels,
I've been doing this over and over and over all my life. This
Yeah.
is normal. I'm comfortable with this.
And that's how they're polarizing. They're polarizing either negative or they're polarizing positive. But there's no right or wrong. They're gonna still eventually get to the next level of understanding.
What's done is done.
And that's what's really hard for people to grasp is that, oh well, I wanna follow something that's good, right?
Yeah.
But that's the vessel. That's the way that the vessel understands like good.
I
Whatever
like
that
this.
means.
I like this conversation because that's what social media is. The whole
Bruh,
source.
and that's what I feel like that's what I was trying to explain.
because you can't explain that to someone who is always into social media.
yeah.
Meaning,
Because
again,
they just
well, that's what I say again. If I feel a certain way or I'm going through a certain thing, I could jump on social media and find 500 people who are going through the same exact
Like-minded,
thing.
right.
Like-minded wise, what keeps me carrying on with my tactics and what I am. But that open mind sense is where this right here happens is because, all right, when did you get into this? When did you get into this?
The beginning of this year, actually.
The beginning of this year, right? So open your mind to a different thing, right?
Yeah.
What if I told you I know 7 or 8 people who've been thinking like this since they was 10.
But that's the whole point of it. That's like literally, that's what I was saying, is like there's entities that come into the vessel when you're in meditation, and depending on the energy that you give, either you're in the meditation for yourself, I'm trying to bring in this for myself, or I want to ask for guidance or ask for wisdom or whatever.
That's still
to help other people.
So
it's true.
It's still self.
Service to others.
Yeah, it's service.
It's your 5%, but that 95% is to yourself.
To yourself.
Before you can do anything, you have to do for yourself.
Now, in the vessel's understanding, what does that look like, right?
Help.
That's like the thing. Like Hitler, he did everything he did for his people. He was saying, this is what we have to do. We have to eradicate the Jews. We have to do this and that. We have to create camps to kill people because I'm trying to better the race.
Yeah.
That was his meditation. That was his energy.
And that's what he
And
believed
people
in.
were like, you know what? I think you're right.
Yeah.
And he had followers.
Yeah.
That's where his energy was at, and people were gonna hate it. But who else was similar to that? In the fact of in the fact of looking at a character. So let's keep exactly. Let's kick it back a little bit and say that these people were characters, right? Who else was a similar character to Hitler on the other side? Hitler was for bad, right? He eradicated Jews, right? But he had followers.
You're talking about his methods, what his ideals, and what he wanted to do.
Like, I stood for this. This is what
I stand for this. I want to make my people better. This.
Right. Who else did that?
Any other person who is trying to stand up for their people.
Biblical character.
All of them. You can talk. You can go to Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at Adolf Hitler and Jesus. Let's compare them. Adolf Hitler had his followers. He had his understanding and guidance on how to
do what was told to him.
Move the vessels forward, right? The human race. He wanted to make the better race, but then Jesus, what did he do? He did the same thing.
The only thing that's different is Jesus had someone who was higher than him.
Right. He had followers.
Yeah, he had followers.
And he had a guidance.
Again, he had someone who was higher than him.
He set rules. And people followed him blindly.
It makes sense. And I get it. But Jesus took orders from a person. Hitler took his own orders, made his own orders.
He took orders.
I can't.
He took orders from what he
internalized.
Yeah,
what he believed in.
Wherever he got the energy from.
Yeah.
So when you talk us, right?
Where it's beyond us. And we only know one thing about Jesus and when he got his laws and where it came from.
Right.
We say
beyond us.
Beyond us.
Exactly. So like that's
two different stories. Two different stories. And the reason why I say it's two different stories is because Hitler did what he did, and we don't know where.
And all this information can be.
We only get this information from Jesus because we know.
And literally, all we're
from
what we was told,
and what was written in the book.
Literally, what we're talking about, you can look it up into the Long One, and it literally talks about this. Literally, same conversation we're having right now. They had it between the Raw, and the Proctor.
Yeah,
they asked, and they got this information, and it's literally you can look it up on law1.info. It's all out there.
Because I thought the
Ra was just an entity.
The Ra is the energy that goes back. He's the ancient. So he was here before the when the moon wasn't.
Exactly. He was walking this earth. He was showing you how to survive. He
not even walking the earth. He
not walking this earth, but you know, he was here before all was created.
But they also talk about
they had higher.
They talk about a being before the human race, which would be something like,
you call them aliens,
monkeys, or like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like definitely animals. Something before us.
Something had a heartbeat. Period.
Something had a heartbeat, but didn't have understanding of thinking. Because we have that understanding. We can self-reflect what's going on in front of us, and we can self-reflect because that's just our consciousness is taking over this vessel, and that's the power that we have now.
And you went to monkeys because of.
But we've literally, because they didn't have that reflection of consciousness. Yeah, they were just a vessel. It was just like
a dog.
Yeah, exactly. Like
they have consciousness.
Just because that's the thing. That's the thing too. Is just because the dog has a consciousness of only interacting with us doesn't mean that they know something.
Yeah.
They do, because they definitely have a soul, and you can see that when you look into a dog, especially a dog that has understanding, where you can take commands and stuff.
But see, that dog is only commanded and only a dog that
But
way
it doesn't
because
say
of
that.
something
Doesn't
being
say
over him. A dog will still know how to survive and live.
Yeah, but that
So
doesn't say.
so that's why I say again, in my mindset, when you speak about animals, the animal was placed on earth to survive. Any animal.
But that's the vessel.
There's not an animal that's walking around here that just lives and just die.
So what's the difference between you and that dog? Wasn't you placed here just to survive?
True enough. But see, that's when you go back where there's no rules. There's no system. There's no, you have this, to that. It's a point where, all right, cool, we're just living here to survive, then it's a different story.
But there's also things put on this world to remind us
that we could go back to that. That's what
exactly.
Meaning,
but
electricity goes out. We don't have no place to live. We got to create shelter for
animals.
ourselves. Back to our animal state instead of what we have thought and created in the process.
But because we have experienced all this technology, we're going to find a way to bring it back.
Because we already experienced it.
Exactly, because we have that knowledge. Even if we don't have it
right now. We lose radio, music, anything else, there's going to be a way.
So
we create radio, music, and everything else.
On that subject, do you think that's the first time we had electricity?
No. So, and here's the thing: is that they asked questions about the pyramids, and the Ra actually said like higher beings have made contact, and we gave you guys technology to inherit power beyond you guys through the sun, and then you guys took it and started worshiping stuff.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, we have to pull back because y'all were gonna literally nuke the
world.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
So we have to pull back. So then now, all that technology got taken away, and then nobody understood how to like inherit that power anymore. Nobody knew how to.
Because our mind continues to grow.
Meaning,
I
say
say more of a washing out the past.
Yeah.
All that past knowledge we had, they washed it from us, and
so because
now
we're
babies.
Yeah.
Out here.
But they say again, like the Mayans in their pyramid, it was copper found. They ran throughout their pyramid.
The pyramid, yeah.
Why is copper being ran? Meaning they're saying that it was electricity. It was actually ran through the mines, but we only finding that out today, and not then. Or the same way, why the pyramids still have not been discovered on how they was built.
Yeah.
We know now. Now I know it's out there.
I think we always knew it, just that certain people sit in certain places
and change the mission on things. But you had to control information, because if you take that information and put it out there in the world, you have to change what we have now.
Exactly.
Same reason why you have somebody who say they discover America, we do it now. They say Christopher Columbus discovered America. We can't go back and we can't go now and be like, well, Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. And erase all that.
I also think
they're not going to allow it to happen. Because you still have to have the stamp of one man who discovered what? America.
But that goes to your understanding. That's why I think there's a lot of new souls out here today.
I feel like
that's the way I feel, because talking to people, conversating amongst the crowd, I figure like I feel outbound. I feel like I'm on the outskirts looking in. I'm not part of this shit.
That's because you're on a higher understanding, and you're actually put here to rake them in and be like, hey, look, this is the way it is. But you bring them in and pull them in like this, they're not understanding it because they've only seen things through the vessel of like outside. Yeah. They're not meditating. They're not slowing down. They're not breathing. They're not self-reflecting. They're not thinking about the future. They're not thinking about how they can change themselves.
He brings into the whole conversation of the people who are growing up when they talk about, I guess, the millenniums.
I need $100,000. I need this. I need.
I deserve this. The desires. They're talking about people who want.
That's the animal
because all they see is wants. They get on the internet. Yeah, they desire this. He desires attention. At the end of the day,
that thing called like automatic gratification, or what's that like? It's like a saying to it.
I just put it down into you're only living to be judged. You're only living off the judgment of others. You're only being right now is off the judging of others.
And that would be the desire.
It goes back to the desire because that's the only thing.
So how do you tell someone, hey, look, you're only getting on Facebook to look at that notification? How do you break that cycle from someone that only looks at their phone and stays on their phone and like they're basically just stuck in that drive?
Same
animal. How do you say, hey, put that down, bro? Like come over here.
The same cycle that goes back to what you were saying a while ago.
But not look like a dick, because that also can come across like, hey.
The only way you show something different to others is when you take whoever they at and put them somewhere else.
And they're gonna feel uncomfortable.
They will, but they'll also see that hey,
they adopt.
They have to adapt because that's what we're built for.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, cool. We're over here in America. There are several states here in America that is completely different than any other state in America, right? So when I talk about these places, usually people talk about travel in them. Mm-hmm. We talk about New York, right? Talk about Florida. Where we from?
Two different places.
Vegas, Cali. You know what I'm saying?
Different world.
These places are completely different.
And you get it too, like especially the way you react within a social environment.
Yeah.
People are like, where are you from? Oh, you're from that place? Oh, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like you're like on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll get that. Now, take the same people who travel to these places all the time, and this is what they're comfortable with, and put their ass in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Put them in Mississippi. You feel me? Put them in Tennessee. Put them in places and environments of
culture shock.
Yeah. All right. Now take the people from Mississippi.
Put them in the city.
Put them in the city, or put them somewhere.
They're like, oh, what's wrong with him? Why is he so slow?
At the end of the day,
you know what I mean?
You'll realize the change, and you'll realize that certain shit just don't make sense because at home it makes sense. Here it doesn't because you don't see no one like that. You don't see certain shit like this. This is out of your character. For us, it's more of we live in America, but we've been in Afghanistan. I've been in Germany. You've been in Germany. You know what I'm saying? I've been in Korea. Now, you go into other countries and you see exactly how people are living. You humble yourself from where the fuck you at sometimes.
Right.
But if I take somebody from out of the deltas of Mississippi and take them to Afghanistan, you know what they're going to tell me? Oh, this is normal. This ain't nothing different. This is like being at home. And not speaking bad about the deltas, and
I bet you could probably kind of self-reflect on that too. Like you've been overseas, you've seen the way shit go.
It's different. But
so okay, let's talk about it. Like a soldier from the city in a bad area.
Sit down.
Versus a soldier from Louisiana who's like been through the shit.
Different. They handle certain shit different.
So from the city, does he kind of freak out more, or like how does that work?
All right, cool.
How does that go?
This goes back to someone we know that went through a situation where we was getting shot at, and he
freaks out to something like trying to cope with, or like trying to get back to. Yeah.
My dog said, "Hey, they shooting at us." Well, look like shooting at it. Like, why you in here? But at the end of the day, that's just, again, the character was being challenged on something that they saw on a daily basis and thought that they can jump into.
Okay.
We all go
Well,
through it.
I don't think they thought about it, but they were put in that situation without their.
Well, no, they was.
I guess they're not. I wouldn't say not their choice, but they were put there.
All right, so we have people who always say this. Oh, if that happened to me, I would have did this.
Right.
That's not true.
Right.
You don't know what the fuck you would do.
No,
exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you weren't put in that situation.
You
You could sit back and look at the details of what
somebody
else went through, and then make a decision on what you would go through.
Let's get what that's mean. And that in itself is a self-reflection meditational state.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah, I got you.
You see that?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like you brought it back because you're like you can see it from a third person point of view.
Go.
Versus
Go.
I don't know how to explain it. Like
No, but I get
you.
I get you. You be in that situation, but if I have every detail and describe to you what happened to me and how it went down, and you sit there and be like, well, shit, if that was me, I would have did it. You got all the details. You have all the information to give me what you would do.
Exactly.
But at the time and moment of it going down,
You just processing information.
But yeah, so like that, and that in itself is like, it's almost like you living where you lived, that was you gathering all that information and understanding. You got placed in this situation where it's popping off versus someone else who's been in that situation where it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their learning and understanding. Then they get put in that same situation. It's like you have that higher understanding versus them. They don't have that higher understanding. So how, in that moment, how do you, coming from your standpoint, say like, yo, like you were just saying, like, we'll shoot back. Well, that's because you already have that understanding. So now you're kind of like the dick in that situation.
You are, because you
have that higher understanding.
Yeah, of the situation before it happens.
And that's basically,
or how it happened.
As far as like the vessel, like some people, as far as like the spiritual realm, possessing the vessel, we have that higher understanding, and we're coming back, and you literally have this choice to come back to help the collective come to this understanding of, hey, you don't have to react to your desires of being an animal, but you can look at it as the fourth person and say, that person is me, and I can look through it through love. Now, wartime has its own fucking like realm.
No,
because there's no love in
war.
There's no love in war.
Again, you just spoke about Hitler.
A lot of love in war.
Hitler did what he did
for the love of
for his people, for the love of himself and his people. That's love.
Yeah.
And the people backed him because they loved the fact of his ideal for their people. That's love. There's a lot of love in war. Because at the end of the day, nobody will back you if it wasn't no love there.
Yeah.
You having a friend and everything else, and you know that friend is stupid as hell, but he gets himself in a situation where 2 or 3 people are jumping on him.
Yeah.
The love you have for him, you're going to jump in. The love I have for him, on the backside,
right,
I'm going to do whatever it is to make sure y'all don't go to jail.
And then anybody else outside of that situation will just see it as chaos.
Yeah, but the love of what happened, that's all love. So you can never say there's no love in war.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Because at the end of the day, it wouldn't be no war.
So in that situation, could that be its own entity where if that entity expresses itself as far as someone looking out into this situation of chaos,
well, that's
gonna either react, someone to.
That's the conversation we had today. Because at the end of the day, I can love you from a distance.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't gotta be jumping in the crowds with you when you're doing whatever you're doing or having your back on that way. I can love you from a distance. Yeah. And when I say love you from a distance, man, look, I'm doing bad right now. I need about $100. All right, I send you $100. In my mind, I'm thinking I might not get this $100 back.
Yeah.
But I'm only sending it out of love and care.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing else to do with it. I love you. I love you enough to give you my own money.
Yeah.
That's love. But that's from a distance.
Yeah.
Now you get in a shootout and show up at my house talking about we about to go shoot these motherfuckers up. This. I'm looking at you like, nah. I love you.
That's your situation.
I don't love you that much. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when do we? And I guess it goes to what you were speaking already. I believe, yes, we are vessels that come back and we're supposed to teach other people and bring them into the certain realms to bring them up to a level.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's a level of people who do come back. So you might meet me in this lifetime, and bam, I'm giving you this. In the same lifetime, you might be him who is on another level, and he's giving you this.
Yeah.
Where it's a buildup of character, because at the end of the day, a lot of people live this life and come in contact with bad characters.
Oh yeah.
With bad friends and put in situations with bad people.
And I think that the thing is too, the question is like, how do you react to that, right? Like, what do you do when you're presented with someone that you don't agree with, right? Do you engage with them and continue that relationship, or do you, like you're saying, you love them from afar, but like your path is this way, and then now like.
Well, my thing about it is,
I feel like that's a service to self or service to others. Like kind of question.
For me, and I've been this way all day long, and I tell people this all day long. I watch TV. I watch TV to understand. That's just humans I watch. I watch the surroundings. I watch people. I study characters. I study those. Even without you opening your mouth, I study you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whatever you're giving or however you're speaking about it, if I don't accept it, I don't accept it. I do get an understanding of where you're coming from. But that's just to have understanding.
Yeah.
I don't have to stay around you. I ain't got to be around you. But I have an understanding where, oh, that's where that man's mind at. Yeah, I don't agree with that shit. But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I get it to a certain extent. Or I might be on some shit where I say, hey, you retarded, and move on.
Yeah.
But it's still the fact that I hold myself accountable for judging all. So if I'm judging, I'm automatically wrong because it's something I don't want to do naturally.
Yeah. But what's the sense of being wrong? Like, are you saying like you're wrong?
Where's the consequences to it?
No, I'm saying
Or-
like
What are
when
you-
you say that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Where is the stance from
Well,
that?
that ruler that
Yeah, like
measures
who is
what's wrong.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Like who
what's
is saying
right.
that you're wrong?
How you
Or not
claim
like who, but like
That comes off of, again, what I just said,
experience.
how you would
No.
be, or
the consequences.
okay. Consequences.
You do
of
certain
what?
shit at times, right? And you automatically feel bad for doing it. Nobody else is telling you you're bad for doing
Yeah.
it. You're not doing it. You nobody's coming to you and be like, hey man, you fucked that up. That's fucked up how you talk to somebody.
Self-control.
You literally feel that.
That's self-reflection.
That right there is
Yeah, and
my limit
and the meditational part.
right
is,
for wrong.
And that meditational part is okay. Like, I want people to think like, I'm judging that person and that's wrong. Let's step back and say like, where does that stem from? Like, where am I saying that's wrong from? Like, and that's when you start
Because
to
9 out of 10
understand.
times,
I
9
feel
out of 10
like
times when that happens is because that person did something to you.
that part.
And
But-
that's why. And that's why.
But
you-
try to break it down even further back. Like
farther back,
bring it,
like
yeah,
bring it
a
back.
little bit.
Oh,
more.
wait. Where did I get that from? That's
Well,
naturally
like-
born. That's what you just told me with a dog
The
or any other animal.
You
That's
told-
an
A
instinct.
survival.
That's a
Spiritual
survival, survival
Either-
tactic.
So if I don't do that, then I continue to survive comfortably in my home, financially, securely. That stems back to your root chakra. That's because you understand understand higher than that. You've understood higher than security, home, safety. You're obviously beyond that. So for you to self-reflect on that decision of saying that person is wrong, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be Hitler. I want to be this. That's where that stems from.
So is that wisdom?
Wisdom from where though? That's
From
the
others.
question. Others of where? From who's the others?
The others is other people.
Other people's basically.
Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say other people.
Well, I wouldn't say others.
Animals too.
that past experience.
The past
Like you
experience.
said, that
You
past life
survive.
cycle.
To survive.
The vessel.
The vessel, yeah. But I say again, when
And
we
then
talk
step
about
back
the
from the
vessel,
vessel. So like,
if we step away from the vessel,
Spiritual.
then the spirituality is what it's gonna always go to.
I'm trying to like bring it really, really back. And I
Yeah.
feel like
Because
that's
I see-
hard.
remember-
It's hard to
I
break.
get what you're
It's
saying.
hard to
Yeah.
break.
I prime example, you remember how they speak about deja vu? And people will say, hey, we had a dream, right? And then all of a sudden they're walking around here and
That
that
part.
dream actually happened, right?
But that's not what he's trying to
Well,
bring.
this is-
He's
this is-
saying that where you get this standard, if I can say it like
Yeah.
that, this standard of living or the standard of consciousness where it automatically
Something triggers.
triggers to judgmental or either like a judgmental understanding about somebody else or even yourself. That's what he's talking about. That's spiritual guidance.
Yeah, because remember, if you think about it, like that person is you, so that person doing whatever they're doing,
Yeah.
and you're saying I wouldn't do that, but they are you. They're doing that.
Yeah.
So
What is the standards to say that's wrong? What is the standards of
there's
feeling
no,
bad
there's
about
no,
that?
there's no right or wrong.
No.
It's polarity.
It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy, right?
So-
and it's so hard to bring it back.
That's the reason why I told you about when he was speaking about the vessels, is speaking about, hey, do you believe we've been here before? Or we're going through this slight life cycle over and over. When I told you about the deja vu or having the dreams and then actually they're coming true right in front of you.
Mhm.
When you was having that dream, Do you remember
where were you at? Like, where were you at? What vessel were you on?
Were you
like,
on the wall? Were you over here in the corner? We get it. You was in a room. You saw what you saw.
Isn't that crazy?
But what point of view did you see it from?
Yeah, like
because at the end of the day, you could have saw it from a fucking fly image.
Yeah.
You could have been a fly on the wall watching all this go on.
It's crazy because when you're dreaming, you don't take a vessel on.
Nope.
You're just a consciousness.
You're floating.
You just floating. You were there, and what's presented in front of you is what it is. But you don't look down at your body. You don't see you have hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a perception. It's like that.
And in movies,
I don't know.
And movies ain't do that though.
Give me a second. What? I had this wicked dream. It was last night, and I self-reflected on it this morning.
Okay.
It was like a high school scenario. One in high school, fucking, I think it was like two chicks trying to get on me or whatever.
Yeah.
Like hitting on me, grabbing on me and shit. I'm like, nah, chill out.
Yeah.
Fucking sitting in the classroom, dude. And like I was just and I remember like somebody walked in and walked out. And
It's funny how they can perceive that and feel like you felt like someone walked in, walked out.
Walked in,
but
walked
maybe
out.
you didn't see them.
But I couldn't picture them, but I remember
You
that
felt their
emotion
presence, you felt the energy.
Exactly.
My question is, do you recall any other faces in the dream?
Yeah.
Do you know who was in the dream?
No.
So you recall faces in the dream and never met them before?
No.
Never seen them before. All right. Now you're going on to what we always talked about.
But
it's going to happen.
But the crazy thing, okay.
The only thing you can give me is,
I wanna hear
that's
what you're
nice.
saying.
But like, fucking sitting in the classroom, the same two chicks that were trying to get on me and shit fucking pulled out knives.
Oh.
And were trying to fucking stab me.
Yeah.
So I fought them off and fucking ran away. And I ran into like, it was a teacher or a principal or something. And that motherfucker was talking to me and he was like, oh man, you alright, did that and the other.
Like you didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, like, and I was like, these motherfuckers trying to stab me, did that, but they all gone.
They're
You know,
gone,
in
yeah.
a different fucking
It doesn't matter where they are.
void or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're gone now. But I'm like calm now. And I'm
Yeah, like
"These
that
motherfuckers trying to kill
presence
me."
or that energy was like brought you back there. Like you're good, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
So the principal grabbed me and was holding me. I'm like, get off me, get off me.
now you're like kind of like detained.
Yeah, like detained. And then showed up, this motherfucker tried to do me something, but he
Now
had
he
a
turned
gun.
on you.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to fight this motherfucker off. Fought him off, fucking got outside the school. I'm running, I see a highway.
It's crazy because I could probably like feel what you're going through in that dream.
Yeah.
And it's literally you're feeling something. So like, where is that
Like
feeling?
something attacking me.
Yeah, like where does that feeling
But-
come from?
But it's like something attacking me through the whole fucking thing. It was like they were trying to get close to me, but it wasn't like
It was
aggressive close. They were like, "Hey, how you doing?" Did that and other. And
So
once
I
they
would
got
say
close to me-
say within that dream, whatever the energy was, it was breaking what society would deem as dangerous, like someone breaking your personal space, presenting a knife, stuff like that. Something that's gonna make you like react.
Yeah.
Visually, you're reacting with what the regular realm of consciousness would tell you. Hey, these are triggers. Like you need to be on alert.
And this is the trouble with this.
But
we speak
in
about
dream worlds, like there's no rules.
There's no rules.
Right? There's no society. There's no right or wrong.
I can interpret that in any way. I can give you a story of basically, hey, at this point in time in your life right now, you're struggling with someone who's
Yeah,
very
but
close
that's-
with you. I can do this.
but
Who you're struggling
that's
with,
only gonna-
who you're close with, but you have to get away from.
Mhm.
And they're showing you everything in life that you need to get away from them.
I felt
I can
like
give you that. You just gave a scenario.
Yeah.
All right, breaking away, or the things way is presented to you
Yeah.
as it's peaceful, but it's basically a danger around you. I can present this in so many ways and interpret this in so many ways. The reason why the good book is still the number one good book, because I can interpret it in so many ways. Your dream, honestly, can be one or two or three of those things. Or it could be naturally that whatever you're trying to get away from right now, you're getting away from it. And no matter how you get away from it, it's another scenario. No matter how you're trying to get away from it, it's always going to come to you in a humble state of mind.
I know.
Like, it's all good. Hey, what's going on? Da, 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 da. And then it happens.
yeah.
So,
I know.
more of the strength of you getting away in your dream, you never got.
No way.
Oh, wait.
You see what I'm saying? So, you don't know what's on the other side of that. But at the same time, it's something in your body that's giving off the energy that what you're doing.
Fight
Get
or
away.
flight.
Fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? And I get that point, but I can interpret it in that way, or it could be a whole nother.
But I self-reflected on it this morning. I took it as I looked at it as being comfortable. Cause
We had that conversation.
when I can remember my dream vividly. I can remember the chick, fucking half Mexican chick. Fucking one was thick, one was slim. Fucking grabbing all on me, and I'm like, man, chill out. It's like fucking I was the new kid in class, basically.
Get a cage.
You know how you get that when you walking, you the new guy around, so motherfuckers gravitate towards you. Not try, but curious about you. Motherfuckers see you and be like, you know, who is he about? Yeah, it was him. And then the motherfucker just started attacking me. And then I ran to an authority figure, broke loose and got to an authority figure. Yeah, and that motherfucker started attacking me. And I just self-reflected on it, and I was like, it's just being comfortable around just, just being comfortable with the bullshit, I guess. Like, knowing me, the way I grew up, fucking chicks all on me or whatever like that, motherfucking ego likes that.
That's true.
So it was like motherfucker trying to kill off my ego so I can separate. I don't know, that's the way I thought about it.
Like a lesson almost.
Yeah, like a lesson need to be taught. Like, stop letting your ego fucking attract certain things around you or keep certain things around you that you know is not good for you.
Yeah.
You know, you liked it when the girl was grabbing on you in the classroom until she pulled out that fucking knife.
Yeah.
You know.
Then everything like
Yeah. So it just shit I self-reflected on this morning after that dream. It kind of tripped me out. And I was just like, going back to what you were saying, that self-reflect thing, I just fucking played it back in my mind like 100 times.
But if you think about it like this, let's say everyone has on average 6 to 8 hours of sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're 6 to 8 hours in that whatever state, meditative state, in that realm, in that world, whatever you want to call it. You can't really understand it because we don't take a vessel on it. We don't have rules for it. It's in our own mind. But then again, we are feeling something from our perspective of 16 to 18 hours of consciousness, 12, 16, 18, whatever, however long you're awake.
Mm-hmm.
So that has more reality, more grasp, more understanding, more feel versus your 6 to 8 hours of being in that meditational state where you don't understand stuff. There's no rules. There's no one guiding you.
Yeah.
There's no one to say what's right or wrong per se that we're guided to. Guided to understand. You know what I mean? So there's really no. I mean, there's ways of perceiving it, like you were saying, like, oh well, this will be that, and this, and we can only understand between our 16, 18 hours or 12 hours that we're awake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we got. And language is one limited state within this vessel.
Yeah.
That is
The
already
language we
set up
use.
for failure.
Exactly.
Language,
that's already a mind control.
Language cannot, exactly, from day one, when we're kids, we're taught to do something, to communicate.
Exactly.
Body language, crying, because we either gotta eat, we gotta go to the restroom, or we're
just,
sleepy, or
just the
cold,
word,
or hot, or something.
What they call that, the etymology, like the use of words like good, evil, just breaking down those.
Yeah, it's like
that connection
concepts,
to that word, the concept of the word.
Like what's going on around
like
us.
learning that a dog bad, or so you look at a dog and you think, oh my God, dog bad.
Yeah.
It's just a mind control instead of understanding that no, the dog's not bad. The dog has.
The natural.
But then,
being.
when you take drugs collectively, you can almost communicate without even words. Like there's a moment where
Well, no, you can do that. You can do
you
that.
tap into something
You
of saying something without saying something, like nonverbals and stuff like that.
Yeah, nonverbals could actually come from it. You ain't got to do drugs with that. Nonverbals could actually come
I just
from
feel like with
it's
drugs
intensified.
inside,
Yeah, intensified
I feel
because
like I've talked with people without even saying anything while I was under the influence of drugs. It's kind of weird about that part.
no, You're doing.
Shrooms do that.
Shrooms do that. Alcohol does that.
Nah, alcohol. I ain't never had a.
Watch. Yeah, you have. On alcohol, you have been drunk in a situation where you have your people around, people you fuck with, in a situation where all you do is look up at one, and one look at the other one.
And then that's it.
One look at the other one. All right, we either on game point type or we dying laughing right now.
Yes.
Without saying a fucking word. Bam. Alcohol does it too. Weed does it a lot.
True.
I like where your mind at, man. We gotta run it.
Luis?
Yeah.
Hey, Luis a wild boy. He's a wild boy.
I gotta put him on some shit though. He been on Alistair Crowley, but I'll put you on some deep shit, man.
I love it.
Some deep shit where you can, yeah.
Oh,
I know exactly where you're coming from.
We can't deny it because it's like, yeah, it has forms of showing itself, but, you know, be it the law of one, the Bible, Buddhism,
Yeah. A cult.
whatever,
Yeah.
the Quran, whatever, all that, it's all literally the same thing. It's just put into a language for someone to understand it.
For certain people to understand.
Yeah, like this is what I painted to project that information. So that's basically that. It's different paintings to project information.
They speak about the Quran. The Quran is very mental at the end of the day, and it's a lot of discipline. It's a book of teaching.
Discipline is hard.
But you have to be able to be taught.
Yeah.
You have to have a mindset to be taught this.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot read, and I don't give a fuck who is saying how they want to say it and everything else. You're not going to sit there and read the Quran and completely understand it
No.
by yourself. At all.
Somebody else to teach you.
It is a guidance of a book that teaches you because somebody else taught them and someone else taught them and someone else taught them. That's the reason why it's so hard to turn over and become a Muslim, because it has to be here.
75,000 years, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows where we are between that, but
Yeah.
that's the cycle of where this world will be until it's destroyed. And I cannot
It don't
say
get
where we
destroyed.
are
It
between
just
that.
It just get replaced.
When they say
Yeah.
destroyed, they mean that concept of mind being destroyed.
Yeah.
Would you understand the world
Yeah,
in
it really- 'cause
in
it
that
doesn't-
time
It
period?
doesn't really matter what.
The
planet
world
you're on.
always
Yeah,
been
exactly.
made.
It doesn't matter what planet you're on, but it's just for sure that mental concept and spiritualism.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. It's just like it's a nice way to. For me, it's a nice way to like understand. Like if you lose like someone who like is like dearly to you, like a family member and stuff like that, I feel like
He knows.
they're always around you, even through
Yeah.
spiritual realm. Like
Not around you, they
I
become
just-
part of your vessel.
Yeah, and that's
You-
going to be your
you-
vessel,
you-
your strong vessel. And the
Yeah.
thing about it is, you run right back into it.
yeah,
Through somebody else.
Through someone else, and they could literally be right next to you. Like
Yep.
your family could literally be right next to you.
It's crazy because at the end of the day, those are the people that you want to keep in your circle, because at the end of the day, if you have a small circle, not a small circle, if you have a circle of people that you believe in and love,
Yeah,
there's no end.
right.
We all get replaced in that same circle
right,
and
yeah.
continue on. That's the group of people that you're supposed to be on.
Yeah.
That's also the same group of people that goes out and does
It just makes me happy.
difference in the
It just
world
makes me happy 'cause,
constantly.
Like, yeah, like you can take someone that you love dearly and you've lost or whatever, and they're literally right next to you and you don't even know it. Like not like you don't understand it, but they're like spiritually they're there, right there with you.
You've been brought in my world, some weird, creepy ass
Right.
shit that happened.
And it's almost
But
like sometimes
at the end of the day, it happened in a way of, I'm not even making an excuse on what I could have did and what I should have
exactly.
did.
You can't.
At the end of the day, this happened
Yeah.
because of this.
Yeah, you can't explain why.
Simple, down to earth point of this happening. Yes, we would have went through questioning. Yes, we would have been out there all night. Yes, we would have went to the courtroom. We probably wouldn't even had our court date during, you know what I'm saying, during the trial of this or during the situation of this. But even after that happened and the way we felt that night, we found out at the end of the night, this what happened.
Yeah.
And that's the spooky part
That
about
energy.
it. That energy of what happened Yeah, kind of intense, kind of looked at, but it was too damn calm.
Yeah. And then the entities too, like
even with you being mad,
you feel
it
like,
was too damn calm.
and then you feel like,
and it's like
y'all pick up where you left off, like
wherever
the like energy was.
We had this conversation. I had this conversation with my other partners on the podcast. Me and this man was out. We get back to our car. Somebody's walking through our car. They're going through the car. They done broke in the car and got into the car. He has the pistol in the car.
Damn.
The man already picked up the pistol, put the pistol on him, and now he's digging through the car to find anything else. We walk up to the back of the car, pop the trunk. As we see him, when he sees the trunk go up, he gets out the car. In the back of the car, there's this big ass gun and this big ass gun. As he see the trunk gets up, he walks out the trunk, and the first thing he says to us as he see us, as we near the trunk, "Oh man, I'm drunk, man. I'm in the wrong fucking car." This man unlocked the door. I'm unlocking the door. I'm pressing the button. Dude steady standing off. Now he's trying to walk off. Unlock the door. He screams again. Door gets unlocked. He look in the door. He see, man, that nigga got my pistol. Trunk open. Two big ass guns in the back. Now the dude had made his way around with the pistol on him. But now by this time, I done picked up one of the big ass guns.
Yeah.
He didn't pick up one of the guns. He wasn't the one who walked to the back of the trunk. He went to the car door.
Yeah, he was looking for his.
I was looking for the pistol.
Listen to me. We are two different characters.
Right.
My cousin, action. All day long. I give it to him. That's
I
his
go
wrong.
animal instinct.
That's his animal instincts.
Right.
His action. Today, our whole world in Rome was flipped.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I politic and I talk. I can talk you out of the situation. If I can't, then I got somebody to help you handle your situation.
Right.
Today, it's all instincts. It's my instincts, not his instincts. His instincts, homie probably would have been dead. My instincts, watch everything homie do. Now, if he does make the move to do what he doing, then I ain't cool.
Yeah.
His instincts and mine different.
Right.
But the whole situation was so calm. And no, listen to me. It was calm.
Yeah.
To the point where it was no screaming, no shouting, no fuck you, this, that, this.
You had no business.
It was calm. Very calm. To the point where homeboy pulled a pistol out and threw it on the fucking car and ran down the street.
Damn.
To the point of him pulling a pistol could have got shot.
Yeah.
His animal instincts would have kicked in. Me knowing how I am from the police academy,
You would have reached for that pistol. I'd have given you.
shot him.
Yeah.
Me knowing you reaching for the pistol
Yeah.
would have got shot. But this situation was so fucking calm.
And you didn't react to him.
And I didn't react to him. Hell, I don't even think you reacted to him. You went to yelling out. No, I'm saying after the situation,
I
you was
couldn't
pissed.
do nothing.
You couldn't do nothing.
I didn't have
but
nothing.
I am not. But at the same time, the reaction was, it was
Yeah.
too calm.
Yeah.
So
It was a
after all
stillness.
this get up, it was a sit still,
Mm.
slow
Stillness
motion,
in there.
quiet.
Yeah.
You couldn't hear the music playing down the street. Everything just came to a whole. And we was having a conversation.
Damn.
We had a whole conversation with this man. Even though he was lying, and then he confessed, man, yeah, man, I did it. I fucked up. Blase, 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 blase. Still calm.
That's crazy.
After that happened, he threw the fucking weapon on the gun, took off down the street. Him, man, fuck that. He go running out down the street with him. I done backed the truck up, the car down the street. We couldn't find the dude, all good. He get in the car, he mad. He's speaking about me because I didn't do anything in the situation. I just jeopardized both of our life and one of us would have been shot, blah, blah, blah. We get to another club, sit there, have a couple of drinks,
And get a phone
and get a
call.
phone call. You know what the phone call was?
No.
My grandmother passed away.
Oh, what the? That's crazy.
The time of what was going on, she was getting rushed to the hospital. Time of her getting to the hospital and getting settled and everything on, she passed away.
Damn, what the hell?
We get that call. And between me and him, that night, and that conversation, and how that went, that changed a lot because that just let me know that them same spiritual wrongs and connections and everything else, they still work. My grandmother was a humble woman, very kind-hearted, church going, do anything for others, no matter what, get the clothes off her back to anybody. She was that glue.
It's like that
to all the bad that was going on throughout the family and everything, and the secrets that was out there, all of this.
Right.
She held all that together. She made sure everything worked.
So it's almost like she took that situation for y'all.
Yep.
Because she was able to move. And actually, this kind of ties it into what I was gonna bring up here in a bit, because I was thinking about this while y'all talking. I want to ask y'all. So, what's your understanding between time and space and time?
First of all, when it comes to me, I don't have time.
I know you talked about it earlier in the night.
And the reason why I don't believe in time is because at the end of the day, we cannot put a stamp on the beginning.
Right.
At all.
We just have like some certain
time.
We have a repeat.
Right.
Nah, we have a standard of living that allows us to live by that standard of time. That 12-hour, 24-hour time.
Okay. My thing is, we have a repeat of sun up, sun down. That's it. That's the only thing you have a repeat that you guaranteed at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The sun gonna be up.
And go down.
It's gonna go down. And somebody dated that to what we have time now.
Right.
So I don't believe in it.
So now I'm gonna put you on this one. So what does space to time mean to you?
Space to time.
Right.
And when you say space, what do you mean?
So when we're talking about time and space, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I stood up and I walked over there, the time between me getting from here to there,
Point A to point B.
right, is only my understanding of consciousness to say that, as I walk, like my reality changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then space to time means if I close my eyes and I want to meditate, I can't really measure how long time's gone by because I don't have that.
Time doesn't exist.
I don't have that structure
Yeah.
to
you
understand.
Don't see it.
But yet when I open my eyes and I look at the time, it's past.
Yeah.
So space to time versus time to space.
You won't have it. What you're saying right now?
Yeah.
If you don't believe in time, you don't have space.
Well, we only believe in time is when we can understand and perceive that things are motion.
Yeah.
So the space that you're speaking about is a distance from one point to another point. It's something you can only understand when you perceive and see it.
Exactly.
So it doesn't exist.
Right. So when you close your eyes and you're meditating, there's no time.
There's no space.
And there's no space.
It's nothing.
Exactly.
So that part in itself is whenever we go to sleep, we're traveling space-time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no
Dimensional travel.
space taken, but time is going.
Yeah.
And that is something that we can just trip on. And
So, prime example, people say you got to get 8 hours of sleep to have a good cycle.
Yeah.
8 hours of sleep to have a good cycle. So when you get 2 hours of sleep and you didn't get 8 hours, how do you feel?
Trash.
Why do you feel trash?
Because I guess you're sluggish through the time that it's on your head.
It's only your mental.
Where
You can stay woke for 4 or 5 days.
I
Whatever's important to you and your mental to get done and done correctly, you will get done. And tiredness and all that other, it don't exist at that time.
It's the brain is
The brain.
The brain is nothing but a processor.
Yep.
That processes
This
what we call reality.
This computer
And-
has a charger,
Yeah.
right? And it's charging. If I close the computer down, the computer actually goes to sleep,
Yeah.
but it's still charging.
Mm-hmm.
Or
That's your brain, my brother. Your body gets exhausted. The mental don't. If it's set up to be on this and that, that's what it's going to be set up on.
That's 100% something that's
But,
running.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
100%, you can't turn it off.
Can't.
Your
It don't
brain
never go off.
is just a mechanism that gets used to how you operate.
Yeah.
So if you
Because your
try-
body, you done woke up before and couldn't move.
Yeah.
Your brain's still working. The reason why your brain's still working because you're sitting there like, fuck, I can't fucking move. And you're talking to yourself in your conscious mind state. Your brain is still rolling.
Yeah.
Your brain is realizing that because after you do get up the next morning or whatever, what's the first thing you go do? You go tell somebody. How do you remember this? How do you process that?
Yeah.
Because your brain was still rolling while it was going on. Your body shuts down. It does. Your body does need rest. But depending on how stressful you're putting your body through.
But even when you're motionless and your eyes are closed, we're still traveling through space. So we're still taking up space, but we don't perceive it. Therefore, where is that time?
Like the concept of motherfuckers that go under
Like
anesthesia.
technically right now, so we're not moving. We're not technically moving out out of frame and stuff, but like we're sitting on a damn spaceship, flying through space. Yeah, but we don't feel it. So we're taking up space.
Taking up space.
We're taking up space and we're traveling. We don't have that consciousness to perceive that, but we are moving.
Yeah.
So.
You want some? I'm drinking on my.
Oh damn! Again? You want pour? Sure. What is it?
This Crown XO.
Oh, okay.
Completely different than what that 100% was.
Damn.
It's a lot smoother. Want one? You want something? Yeah.
It's just a trip to think about, like, you know, like that in itself too is like bringing it all the way back. You know, like you're sucking it all the way out. You know, and that in itself too can trip people up. Like, you're on, like, hey, look, you're on a vessel right now and you're flying.
Most people don't even concept.
Like what?
They don't even-
Are you on drugs right
They
now?
don't think
Like, you know
about
what I
it,
mean?
yeah.
Like they're already questioning like what
You
you're on.
talk to somebody about that shit, you one of them.
Like, yeah, you're one of those people. But like, what are they really saying? Like,
So we
are they denying that too? Like,
What's your theory on flat
I
earth?
say it to the point of
Flat Earth, oh God.
those people do not.
You're a flat earther?
Yeah, he is.
I couldn't say
You
that.
wanted me.
I couldn't say
And I'm trying to teach everybody this. It's all right to think outside the box.
How you know it's
It's
a ball?
all right. It's all right. How you don't know it's a ball?
Have you been
My
out
question
there?
is,
Hey, have you been out there?
Have we been out there?
No.
Have you actually seen the picture of the Earth in a ball or a
No.
sphere? A real picture.
I only seen the flat picture.
Or you see half the Earth and you see darkness in other
I
half.
only see what I see out the car.
No, I
Or
can
when I'm walking.
go pull up every picture on Facebook, on
Hey,
Google,
NASA.
and NASA site, and they will not give you a full sphere.
Let's talk
Why
about
you can't?
Hey, Irvin.
You got enough cameras that
Hey,
you have around the world. We can
everybody
take
been-
one picture at one time, and we can't get a full sphere.
Everybody been on a plane?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
What did it look like?
I don't know. That's as high as I've ever been.
It looked like it looked like what they showed you in the picture.
That's an illusion, man.
However you want to discuss
All
it,
this is a
this is
little-
my argument of it. There's animals in the sea, and you still don't know the depth of the sea.
Yeah. We know more about space than the ocean.
How they concept?
Ain't that
like,
crazy?
You take a cup. How you say it? You take a cup
It stinks.
and dip it into the ocean, and you look at that and be like, is there an efficiency? And you just judging off the
cup?
concept of this cup.
Damn.
That's how we look at space. Looking at that cup compared to the ocean. And
We
looking
keep
at it
discovering
and be
new creatures, but then again, you gonna tell me aliens don't exist?
like, exactly.
But then the things in the ocean. Like,
I'm not even gonna call them aliens.
Bro,
I'm gonna call them other creatures. At the end of the day, they're at the end of the day.
Nah, but like the things in the ocean, though, like, dude, they can breathe in the water, bro. How? Why?
Same
What was
reason.
what's the reason for that? You know?
Whether you breathing in your mother's stomach?
Yeah.
All
What?
right.
Exactly. That part.
Whether
That
you-
was a whole life cycle too. Let's talk about that.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
What about all them? Okay, let's talk about like sperm swimming in your testicle right now. Is that a life cycle?
Yeah.
And then when it comes out, it's dead. That's it.
Yeah, if you don't
Boom.
shoot it,
Done.
if you don't shoot it into somewhere where
But
it can
then
actually
but
find life.
like, what about like when you don't shoot it? Like it's just there.
There.
Until you shoot it, until...
Nah, it die and regenerate.
That's a life cycle.
Yeah, for some.
Millions, right?
Yeah,
Supposed trillion?
You are,
What's the number?
one out of you swimming through them nuts.
We need someone to Google that.
Well, that's
Google
the
fact
no,
check.
you ain't got this is the fact check though. But you say that. I know when certain shit around here, like gnats, flies, fleas, certain shit that's created. Where maggots come from? Flies.
Maggots come from germs off of
Maggots come from flies.
decomposition.
No, maggots.
They eat decomposition.
No. Maggots come from flies, but you also have seen maggots around with no flies.
I think you mean flies come from maggots.
Flies come from maggots.
Yeah, like the maggots become flies.
Yes.
So you're saying that when something dies, already whatever is in it just develops into a maggot, and then the maggot turns
As
into a
it
fly.
dies.
It's like the germ becomes a
the
maggot.
germ becomes
I'm gonna
the
have
fly.
to
I had to look at
The
it.
reason why I'm saying this is because at some point in time, there's certain. All right, cool. We talk about worms, right? Dogs get heartworms. What they created?
They eat certain shit that allow that shit to survive in them.
But their
That's their
breed
system.
and everything else can actually create worms in their body without.
So you saying it's a DNA setup? Like we have certain DNA.
Certain germs become whatever they are nowadays off the strength of whatever it was created from. I'm saying that a human body can give off a disease based on a disease in body wise, like from off itself.
So
The only way I can pass it along is by giving it to you. But before I got it, I could be a starter of some type of disease.
Bro, I literally thought...
And I say this because there's been people who have been diagnosed with certain shit that they didn't get from someone else.
They just created it.
The body actually created it.
Yeah.
That's like the natural smell thing when somebody just stinks. Like no matter what you do, no matter how much deodorant they put on, no matter what they eat, they stink.
Their body. Yeah.
It's their body, meaning their body is creating this. That can be passed down in genes. That can be passed down in this. Our DNA, when they talked about our ancestors being slaves.
But it's like...
It can be passed down because the trauma can actually be passed down.
But it's like whatever that being was, you don't like... I don't know. I feel like we had to go through that, right? Like, so we have to go through being a sperm or whatever, and then being a fetus, and then like you don't remember those life, like you don't have memory of that, but you had to go through that life, like you were a tadpole, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you became like something that just generated
But I don't think-
your mother, and you had to survive to that, but you don't remember that because that was like that life cycle that you
I don't think
had to go
sperm
through.
has consciousness.
Exactly.
That's what I don't. I think it's just a
But you have to go through all that
genetic
to do this,
modified
to reflect on it.
organism that just do what it do.
Learn to
Just like the heart or whatever.
survive. That's
Yeah,
how
it
it
just
knows
has a
where to
survival
swim
instinct.
to and what it's going for because it's trying to survive.
Yeah.
And yes, it be millions or trillions.
But that don't mean it has, that's an
only,
instinct. That's not a consciousness.
But
Yeah.
only one. No, that's that again.
Yeah, it's
I
just
just
their
survived.
instinct.
That's why it's one or two, or
And
even
then-
sometimes three.
And
People
then
have
think about it like this.
3 babies at one time, but at the end of the day,
Four.
4 at the time.
All-
But all of them was going.
And then to fuck you up a little bit more, all of that for you to have a dream, or
Yeah.
for you to do this and do that, like that's just
For you to
trip.
exist.
Yeah, like for you know what I mean. You have to go
in
through
this
so
realm
much.
we call
Yeah.
consciousness.
And then we trip on it.
Yeah. Then we do drugs and fuck it all up.
Nah,
Not true, because your mama probably did drugs,
that part.
and she had you.
You sure?
So in the same case,
You
that was a
junkie
sugar
baby.
tree. You're a junkie baby. You go through drugs before you even came out the womb, my brother. At the end of the day,
I feel bad for
I was gonna be an alcoholic way before me finding a damn egg and getting in there. I'm sorry, it was
Yeah,
gonna happen.
alcoholic
I was
in
an
the nuts.
alcoholic in the nuts.
There you go.
There you go. See what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's certain shit we can blame and say it, but you gotta look at it a different way. I believe being open-minded and being able to interpret and take in and take heed of what others think and believe and show no judgment is fine.
I get lost in my consciousness so far and then I meet a woman, and then I get back to like normal life.
Ooh.
Think about that.
Ooh, the other.
Now that's interesting.
Like when I
like
stayed by myself for so long that I was just like.
No, I'm gonna tell you this too. It's very hard for me.
Just
to
like
stay
trip balls on just life, just scenarios of life, and just how to understand life. And then, like, I meet a woman and all that shit just vanishes. And I just think about paying bills. And,
It's so hard, right?
You know, getting to the next level.
Living what that system is.
Yeah, living with
you want to build. You want to build up a whole.
But when I'm not with a woman, like the system and this fucking standard of living, it doesn't exist to me.
I float.
I
float.
2 spoons.
You understand? Floating. When I'm not with a woman, I float.
It'd be just the simplest shit.
Yes, I'm still in this room and I still wake up, go to work to pay the bill type of shit. But in mindset, I'm a floater.
My brain is just
floating. It's on autopilot. I'm not thinking about none of this shit. I'm not thinking about half that shit. We floating. And I float wherever I float to. What?
I don't know. This live or is just being recorded?
This live. This on YouTube. We about an hour and 46 minutes.
Oh shit. I was gonna tell you, look up. What's his name? Oh, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see that. You have to watch it on your own. But yeah, that's what put me on this motherfucker right here.
Doctor.
You know, occult sciences call themselves doctor.
Dr. Dre?
What age?
Right there. Under the A. Under the A.
Not the algorithm that's trying to tell us.
There you go.
Oh, Valentine?
Word.
Yeah. Check him out.
That's one of them. What was your other boy who was in the classroom?
Bobby Hemmett.
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, Brother Panic. Yeah. They break down metaphysics. That's what it is.
Okay.
He's a big metaphysics about basically what you speak of. Like what you were trying to talk about, bringing it all the way back.
Yeah. They talk about it.
He go deep. And he just give you, he don't, you know, give you, he basically just guides you through. He's not gonna give you a hard answer on something. He's gonna give you a concept and let your brain just develop it.
Yeah.
And
you have those who answer the questions of where we come from. Everybody wants that answer. Or whoever thinks of that, they be like, where the fuck we come from? Like how we was created, how we was given this, and how we thought like that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe what you were speaking about is people who come back and they're teaching. These are what these teachers go through. Then I think of somebody like my dog, who me and you, like Dick Gregory. He's a person to teach you how to deal with this.
Yeah,
then you have okay, we understand.
It's like different angles.
It's different. It's different times, different angles, but you're still trying to level yourself up to understand the mastermind.
I would perceive that as like the 5th dimension. So the 5th dimension would be beyond love, and it's literally put onto this world to teach. I would say the 5th dimension is the teacher.
What was the teachings of the shocks?
And there's a lot of 5th dimensions.
Yeah, was it? That's what you sent me, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so John Vieira was one who was put out to me as a projector. She projects.
Yeah.
She don't post to work. She don't post to strangle herself or stress herself out behind work and everything else. She literally has people who come to her and she projects their stuff. That was
medium.
That
like
that's what her job in life was to do.
I feel like we should listen to one fucking episode one day. Just not.
not right now. But I get it. But
take like
no. But it makes sense. It makes so much sense because everything else that's out there, this right here gives all the information for it.
Yeah.
I can't challenge this information.
You can't. You can just like the Bible.
Yeah.
You can't challenge it. You can only concept it.
Okay. I don't like that because yes, I can challenge that. I can challenge that. I can challenge the Bible.
You can't.
I can.
Yeah.
But depending on who's speaking about it and what they're trying to show you, is a different story.
You can challenge
I
the
can
teacher.
challenge the Bible.
You can challenge the teacher.
Yeah.
But when you read the Bible for yourself, there's so many interloping concepts and concepts.
I'll give you one good challenge on the Bible. Genesis, when they talk about creating, what is it, like creating in our image, the word our,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at what our means, that's a question right there. What is our mean?
No, it's a lot of questions.
Adam and Eve. Our means
Adam and Eve had 2 kids.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? So what is that in itself? What is our image?
Adam and Eve had 2 kids. Cain and Abel
I'm
married.
stuck on our.
Cain and
Let me
Abel.
get to hour. Let me get to your hour. Breaking down the hour, which is, it breaks down one. Basically explaining like the one created others so he can concept himself because he's perfect.
Yeah.
The one is perfect. He is what he is. Like he said, I am what I am. I am who I am. The others are the one that he create to concept him,
Right.
or the concept to give this physical being the consciousness to understand him or to understand.
I say that was his mistakes. I say this because off the strength of whatever he created.
I feel like we should bust the Bible.
In my arm, yeah, we could.
How could it be his mistakes when he's perfect?
Yes, he's perfect, but what he created was not.
Of course it was.
On purpose?
But I can't be that if that's not perfect. If that's not me. Unless you believe in that way of saying that even with your mistakes and your disabilities or you're not perfect, you're still perfect to me.
No.
No?
It
Then
don't work
if
like
you
that.
can't, if doesn't act like that.
That's thinking in a beast mentality.
How?
Because you're using your ego to judge what's right and what's wrong or what's perfect and what's not.
But
you don't have no concept of that. All you can do is.
But then you can't state as far as being a human being created being created from that of not being perfect and saying, all right, cool. Well, that one's perfect. I can't be an image of that if I'm not perfect.
You are perfect.
To whom? Even his mistakes are still perfect.
Well, I like that part. To whom?
But it's not. See, you looking at it as a he and us. No, it's we are part of him.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's difficult to explain.
I know what you're saying because I had this breakdown of it. The knowledge of it can fuck your head up. Yo, do you understand out of God and his body, we're just his hand. People, human beings are just his hand. That's one part of it. That's all of God. Over here he has animals on his arm. Over here he has the trees and the plants on his leg. Over here we have this. At the end of the day, I'm talking about a creation of this world and everything that lives on this world. At the end of the day, the world is God. Now, when we start thinking out of space and what other studies are and everything else,
but that's when you get into
that's when
you get into the illusion. None of this is real.
Okay.
This is all illusion. You are part of the one.
Mm-hmm.
If you're part of the one, then none of this matters. Because when you gone, if you don't be put back in this vessel, like he was saying, this vessel.
That's what I'm speaking about. You're getting what I'm going at with it, because at the end of the day, none of this is real regardless. When you die, you go back where?
To the one.
To the one.
The source.
The source. Your source of being a human being came from where? In a good book.
And the good book, the one.
But this world. You was made and created from dirt, this world, water, this world. So at the end of the day, so they say your temple.
But this is not part of me.
Exactly.
I have
your
a
temple.
soul
You have a
that's
soul.
separate. This is just a vessel I'm obtaining right now.
So
this
that right there,
something I'm holding right now.
that let me know
to
that
allow me to
this
be in this realm.
Yep, this could be created over and over
Yeah,
and
it
over and over again.
It can.
So you could say this is fate, not believe. But again, that's literally the rotation in the system, the moon up to sundown. The
only way you'll get me off that ladder is if is if
but that's just for your
develop the technology to grow humans.
Yeah, they did.
Without birth.
They did.
And allow you to put your consciousness in that being and control that being like
that's
like mirror.
No, but
like mirror type.
That's
shit.
what they're working on.
Did you watch that?
But no, he's watching it, but that's what they're working on. They're trying to do it.
They can take your consciousness out of this body and put it in another body.
But even with your consciousness, it's not your soul.
That's not your soul.
I don't know, but
So at the end of the day,
there's
it's
some type of
spirituality
technology
of your soul.
beyond all of us that has done that. So,
That has that ability.
Well, yeah, because at first it started just with DNA
so here's the
and
thing.
genes, and they from one woman and kept multiplying the shit over and over until you got what?
My question on the person or the thing that creates whatever is it just creating like in a snap, or is it creating through like an evolution, or is it creating like with
You
something
said time,
else?
right? You spoke about time?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we don't believe in time.
Right.
But we do understand an up and down situation that continues and repeats itself over and over. Somebody has to label with something, right? With that being that up and down, that rain pour, no rain, that snow, that's no snow, all that continues to happen throughout what we call a year now. It happens all day long. It's raining here, it's hot as fuck over here. It's snowing here, it's dry as fuck over here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all these are still happening constantly on a daily basis.
Yeah,
but the one thing that continues to grow is literally from the earth. So it doesn't take a tree to grow like that, right?
Right.
It take a while, right? Call it time. At the end of the day, the tree still grows. Wherever it is, it still grows. Plants.
Does it grow?
Does it? There you go.
Takes time.
But does it grow?
No, he's asking, does it grow?
Well, was
Is
the
it
tree
called
there?
growth?
The
Was
tree
the tree
was
there?
there all the way?
Was the
all
tree,
the time?
Was a tree not there yesterday, but today it's there?
Yeah.
You just noticed it.
You just concepted it.
You just took it in and said, "Oh, damn, it's a tree there today." But you didn't look at it that way.
That reminds me of like some Socrates shit, like
Yeah, but that's how it happened.
like forms, like the forms of like what does a fire extinguisher or what does a fire hydrant look like, and has it always looked like that, or does it look like different things until you like see it as what it looks like?
What it actually
Like
is.
a fire extinguisher looks like so many different forms until you perceive it, and that's the form that you understand it as.
I need the fucking titles again.
God.
Back of the box. Back of the motherfucking
That
box. You know where they put us in the box at? They fucked us up, and we use it all the time. Oh, that nigga, that's the Matrix.
The Matrix.
That was a box.
I love
Them
the
bitches
Matrix.
set our ass up.
I love
They
it.
set our ass up to think. They set our ass up to think outside, but still put a cap on just that.
I'm gonna tell you this too.
Oh, you in the Matrix till you wake up.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Till your spirit leave your body, your soul leave your body, and you wake up. That they put a cap on it. They were like, all right, that's how far we gonna be down. That's the Matrix. There you
I
go.
love it.
There you go.
No, but like the Matrix. Look, the Matrix actually was based off of another psychologist from the 80s as
Two of
well.
them.
That part.
Yeah. I read that book.
I think, oh, I got you. What is it? John Baudrillard or whatever. Anyway, you talked about. All right, someone that draws a map. Let's say they draw a map in the 15
The
minutes.
concept of the Matrix.
Yeah.
You're talking about the book.
Simulacrum and simulation.
Simulation and simulation.
Yeah, boy. We got into some
You
shit.
perceive the map and people draw the map,
And then
but the map,
The land destroyed. Yeah.
The land is destroyed,
But
but
are
the
you
map
left
is
with the
still
map? Yeah.
concept.
So what is it?
Yeah.
That's a simulacra.
My nigga said Africa, my brother.
I love it.
Nah, he talking about us. I got it on my damn phone.
No,
Simulation.
Hey, y'all are knowledgeable, bro. Y'all know a lot.
No, it's not
That's
that,
right.
bro. I don't
Hey,
know a lot. I don't know a
bitch,
lot. I'm
bitch.
open
But that's
to
why.
listen.
But that's why I'm like this. Hey, me and Mitch will be in the room. I'll be like this. We already know. I didn't even tell him nothing. I'll be like, we already there.
Yeah.
We there. It's not even like we gotta talk about it. We just, I understand. I get it. Like he knows it too.
Shit different, bro. Like, there's a lot of shit that's changing now, and I'm like, I don't get down with it.
Man, this was a good
I
one.
need to be locked in a room
I'm
by
like,
myself.
I'm like, y'all want to get together on this because
That part. I need I need a trip to the woods at least 2 to 3 times out of the year.
I'm like, y'all.
But I think I need more when it comes to that. And the reason why I tell is I like to be nature. Like, I want to be close to nature.
Yeah, that's natural. That's natural.
Well, it is. It's real natural.
But it's also
I'm a country ass
different.
nigga.
It's also against what
They
everybody wants. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I want to go stay in a camp.
People
And
don't
we ain't
want-
got no electricity.
People don't want that.
When the
they
sun
want
go down,
convenience.
When the sun go down, you still gotta find a way to do what you gotta do and survive. When I don't need electricity, I don't need a cell phone, I don't need none of that shit. I need to go hunt, I need to eat.
But we're also a different breed. Like, we came from before where things weren't so like gratified so fast, and we have that understanding of like before everything blew up, kind of where.
There you go. That's my dog here.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a repeat in even the presidents, bro. They all just want to be that viralness. Dizzy Joe.
Well, I
Dizzy
mean,
Joe.
you can't.
He just wants to faint on camera and everyone talk about him. Trump just want to do some shit and get investigated.
No, I was saying
Bill Clinton want to fuck some women and get talked about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Bill Clinton literally was the reason why people should understand that presidents don't have no fucking power.
Hey, but
I believe out of all that, Bill Clinton should have been the president to show you
Hey.
he has no power to do nothing. And the things that he did do and he signed off from, they automatically had what? A finger to point.
Hey,
And that's what happened.
y'all on social media, right?
Yep.
Y'all getting on videos on the DFW freak out? The girl talking about that person that's not
plane. Yeah.
Dude, that shit was wiping my fucking shit up, bruh. And then before that, the damn submarine. What was before
I
that?
ain't
Some
gonna
fucking
talk
shoot.
about
That's what I was telling him outside. What was going on?
Yeah.
As that was going on.
Exactly.
Submarine. He sent me an article about the
Meat.
The meat.
That
I
part.
think I put that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put that one to me, and I sent that shit out. Cause I'm like, this submarine shit is too much. And
That's
all of a
too
sudden,
much.
All of a sudden, we look over here.
To die on myself.
Fucking Bill Gates is out here getting a bill signed for artificial meat.
Then they had fucking a week later that, not even a week later.
No, it was a week later. It was.
Motherfuckers, 700 people died off a ship.
Yeah, no one talked about it.
Nobody fucking talked about it.
And then
Only
shooting in
100.
Fort Worth, no one talked about it.
Yeah.
You would think everyone
But
talked about the damn Fort Worth. That motherfucker down the road. And no one talked about that shit.
But you worrying about motherfucking submarine with 4 billion
Yeah.
on it, which probably ain't fucking dead. Cause nobody.
So me and you thought about this
The
conversation.
simply motherfucking Charleston White said it clear as day. Nobody got a video of these motherfuckers getting in the submarine and getting boated in there
Yeah,
because
you're
they
right.
said they had to boat it from the outside.
They got a video of that.
Nobody got a video of this motherfucker going into the water, putting the submarine,
Yeah,
lowering
you
it
would
into
think-
the
you
water.
would think
They got that.
Well,
No, there's a video out. I can pull it up here on Facebook. They got the video out. No. But
I
hold
look
on.
for it.
Let me fuck your head
I
up
look
about
for
it.
it.
The video that
Don't
they're
show
talking about
shit.
it. No.
Is it gone?
They have what we call dash cam. You know what dash cam is, right? You can wear it on your chest, blase, right? Well, they have dash cam of them. They have GoPro dash cam of them in the submarine. They have the GoPro. My brother, wait. If a submarine goes down and the air is so damn, the air pressure is so much that it explodes everything in it, anything that's material explodes.
nah.
Bullshit.
They crushed that capsule. It wasn't crushed like That does the point your fucking whole body with it.
Well, the water comes through like a bullet.
Yeah.
So, you're telling me they found no bodies. You're telling me that what they saw was basically ashes. Parts of the ship.
Well, if it was ashes,
They brought videos,
in the water.
but you had no bodies.
Mm-hmm.
No bodies at all.
I'm talking about before. Like before it went in the water.
Before it went in the water. So they found the dash cam, the GoPro of the guys climbing in and getting sealed in.
Mm-hmm.
I watched them get sealed in. Now, the video of them getting dropped in the water is a different story.
Mm-hmm.
No. But their GoPro, yeah, they got video of the GoPro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got video of the motherfucker walking on the moon too.
How do you have the GoPro of a person whose body has yet to be found and supposedly what happened
You
was
found a GoPro, but you can't find a fucking.
now you're making sense with me.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have the video of the GoPro in the
If
first
you ain't
fucking
got
place
their fucking
if you ain't even got their body.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, my mind is a couple of billionaires got in some shit. They heard word. They went and did that. They're gone, but they're not gone.
Yeah. Fuck, they all in Cuba.
It's called fake your death.
They're on Epstein.
They got a whole new identity. They got a whole new other.
They got a fucking video.
So you
Somebody
can't talk
seen
about
him
it.
at a
Can't
fucking.
talk about
Somebody seen him at a fucking party. That motherfucker.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, that's some CGI shit. Cause that motherfucker look just like that motherfucker.
that. Tupac, bro. On the island.
Well, Tupac was respectful enough to be like,
I don't trust nothing these motherfuckers.
But I think that was some
That's
way.
the only thing. I don't trust nothing.
You do know Tupac and Biggie were the way for. All right, we live, and I'm probably about to say some shit that's probably gonna get us canceled.
I love it.
But as far as white folks being into the hip hop or rap world, it literally was Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah, I thought they got their foot in.
That was their foot in the
That
door.
beef, that East Coast West
That
Coast
East Coast beef.
Oh yeah.
Tabloids,
Yeah, that's how they learn
newspapers,
how to make money.
how to make motherfucker. That's another way how they learn how to control certain situations. Narrative.
That part. Genesis 1:26.
What they say? What he say?
Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds."
Because
in
I
the
feel like
sky."
God, and even when I hear that, I feel like God wasn't talking to himself. He was talking to a group of people.
Wow.
But-
You know what I'm talking
Not
about?
a group of people,
But
but
hey,
a group of some.
but hey, let's talk about we don't believe in the Old Testament because after
I don't
Jesus,
believe in none.
everything's great.
Hold up.
After Jesus, everything's great.
But you got the volume on.
Nah.
Nah, you about
Bro, I wish they could see
Your
this.
ass is grasped the same way if the earth quakes, if a volcano blows up, or if the sea wells up and washes your ass out there. There is no God benevolent coming for you. There is no Jesus going to come down in the
And
clouds.
this is where
And
we
if you
end our
try that shit,
podcast.
you know
I'm
it's
still
not
not
God.
trying to
And
get
Steven
canceled on
Spielberg
it.
probably put
The
together-
Gorillas is talking right now.
You should see
So
this
this
magnificent.
is 90 Podcast. Subscribe, like in, like, comment, and Brendan. I don't even like fat bitches. I love them. Subscribe and holla at your boy. Hey DJ, do what you